What is going on, tribe, and welcome back. We are here once again, joined by Rambam to do another episode of Rogue Actions. Before we begin, though, if you are watching this and you haven't seen the video over on Ram's channel, you got to watch that one first because the rest of this just won't make sense. I'm looking out for your well-being. Ram, how's it going, buddy? It's like I haven't seen you in ages.
Right? Yeah, no, I mean, this is, it's going pretty good, life is busy, but we've got a lot of good stuff happening in Swigo. Conquest is wrapping up. Obviously, we're about to get Padme Nabooty. Can't complain about that.
Nabooties. Nabooties and Nabooties.
It's a good time.
It's a perfect combination. Yep. Yep. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I can't wait, actually. Queen Amidala. Yeah, hit that red box. Farming those datacrons. Gonna get her unlocked, I think, Monday evening? Monday evening. And we've just had, obviously, Master Qui-Gon Jinn, who we are going to talk about in just a little bit later on. And he's pretty sick, and I love the poncho and everything. So I'm kind of excited. The only thing that's a little bit iffy for me right now with Queen Amidala and Master Qui-Gon Jinn and Padawan Obi-Wan and all that sort of business is that if you want to be ready for the next lock-in of the wonderful game mode known as 3v3 GAC, and you want to be able to use them all, you have to do a little bit of extra side hustle whaling on that Master Qui-Gon Jinn if you've been at 6 stars trying to get to 7 stars, because you'll be like a day or two too late if you just wait. So I'm like, I gotta spend more crystals on that Qui-Gon, man. It's already eaten my soul trying to wail on that dude, and he wants more. But I know it's like for me, it's like the 1 week of GAC. I'm like, should I really blow a couple thousand more crystals trying to get this guy unlocked early?
You probably should.
I probably should. Yeah, I probably should.
Probably should, because I foresee that being a nasty team. Padme, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan.
Especially with the Padawan Obi-Wan Kron, it's nuts. So yeah. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that because we all have our eccentricities, and if we're talking about the raid first, which is up here, yeah, I can't jump down to Master Qui-Gon first because that would just cats and dogs getting on together, like mass hysteria. It just wouldn't happen. So we're going to talk about the raid first. And genuinely speaking, this all kind of ties in together, but when the hell are we going to get some information about this new raid, dude? Like, we were told summertime. Queen Amidala had to be released. I get it. Master Qui-Gon Jinn, Padawan Obi-Wan, they had to be released. Gungans had to be released. Jar Jar had to be released because they're all in the new raid, right? So they had to get all that business out of the way before we heard about the raid. We've got them now. Where's the list of characters for this raid? Where's the little introduction to the mechanics of the raid? We don't know if we're taking in 5 characters or 3 characters or if we've got to change up the mod sets like we did with the speeder bike raid. We don't even know what we're doing outside of we're killing waves of B1s. I need some more info, dude. I want some more info. Where is it? Like,
wait, is that a thing? Are we actually doing the whole waves of B1s thing? Please tell me no.
Well, who knows? That's what I'm saying, dude. That's the only bit of information they've given us on the new raid, and that was months ago, man. That was months ago.
What if secretly we've been doing the new raid mechanics, and it's the Sector 3 raid boss or Conquest boss?
I will break down in actual tears to think that we'll have 9 months of that boss node. Like, the Jar Jar event with the unlock gave me a bit of hope because that felt like what the raid should be. Like, the whole cadence of that entire Jar Jar unlock was like, hey, this is the raid. This is what we should do in the raid. But it also makes me a little bit worried because I'm like, they're not going to just rehash the raid for the Jar Jar event, I don't think. But the alternative is what we have in the Sector 3 boss, and that's even worse. That's terrible. That's awful. So I'm just like, all I want to know right now is what are the units that we know the factions that are required, right? Galactic Republic, we got Separatists, we got Gungans, we've got Jedi, right? We know those are the factions, the 4 factions. But is it a 5v5? Well, not 5v5, but do you take in 5 teams like we did in the crate? Is it 3 teams like Speeder Bike Raid? Are there going to be special mechanics where we have to say, I don't know, mod for accuracy or mod for crit avoidance or mod for this? I need to know this information so I can start making my plans. I don't want to just hoard the whole time. I really don't want to. I don't want to have to remod for every single team going into this raid. It would be painful. I don't like doing it for the speeder bike raid. I'd like it even less if I had to do it with Gungans and all that sort of business. I don't know,
the
man.
speeder bike raid, I remod for Leia, and that's literally it. Outside of that, it's like because I mean, realistically, the remodding for the current raid is this remod, and you might get an extra 100, 150k. Don't remod, and you're not going to get 100, 150k.
Except for Leia, where you can actually just like max out.
Leia, Leia is the only exception. Leia is the one that you have to remod for, so you can get the 2.7 mil. But every other team is like, okay, if I get P at Han, if I remod, I might be pushing like 2.2, 2.3. If I don't remod, I'm gonna hit like 2.1. Is it really that big of a deal? No.
If you play it the same way, you take the same approach, the modding might get you 200 to 300 additional thousand max. Yeah. Max. So like over the course of 8 teams, it can add up. It's for the people that are really sort of sweaty tryhards like myself that try to get the most they possibly can, but most people don't need to do that. You can just sort of go in. So I get it. I get people that don't want to remod for the raid. I do because I'm just like compelled. I have an addictive personality, and if I'm like, I got 14.9 last time, I must get 14.9 at least this time. I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. So I do try and I remod every single team, every single time. And it hurts my soul. I don't want to have to keep doing it, but I feel like I have no other choice.
Stick with my 12.5 mil. I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, 12.5 mil is still good score. So, you can still get like the $656 or something like that, which is still amazing rewards. Yeah. And this is why it matters so much, guys, about this new raid. It's like the raid currency and the raid rewards are probably the best in the game. Like nothing comes close to how rewarding the raid is. And as soon as we switch over from speeder bike raid, my guild currently max boxes that. We switch over to the Naboo raid. We're going to lose all that Mark III currency, which lets you get all your impulse detectors and your Zim biddles and your electrium conductors and all that sort of business. All that really good, juicy Mark III rewards, they're going to disappear, and you'll be tied to however much score you can get in the new raid. So the earlier we know what we need, and the earlier we know how we're supposed to do the battles, how is it going to go, the better we're prepared we can all be. Like, my anxiety is climbing all the time. I don't want it to. I want to be just chilling. And I don't know. How about this, Ram? Name one character that you think is going to be on that raid list, and don't say Gungans, because obviously all the Gungans are going to be on there. Like one character that you think is going to be on that list that you're really not wanting to gear up. I'm talking like, Galactic Republic's there. I don't want to deal with like a Relegate Cup, because they're going to give us some stinkers. What's the stinker you think is going to be in this raid?
What's the stinker? Oh man. I mean, well, they did already say what was they already said the factions. They said the Gungans. They said the Galactic Republic. And there was a third faction. What was the Separatist?
And Jedi as well.
And Jedi, but is it all Jedi? Like JML is not going to be included. We don't know, right?
No. I have a feeling it'll be like
Galactic Republic Jedi. Yeah. If that's the case, oh man, Kit Fisto, Ayla Secura, no, because she's actually kind of useful. I'm a Gundai, that's a really good one. It's a really good example of trash.
Jedi Knight Guardian.
Well, no, Jedi Guardian's got some use though, because you put her under JMK and she's like a permit taunt. Yeah. So she actually kind of has some, like, I'm going to say I'm a Gundai is probably the exact useless that's probably going to be required for this raid. I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay, he just has no point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I know some people have, like, geared him massively. Like, if you put loads of relic levels on him and you're throwing him with, like, Ki-Adi Mundi in a full Galactic Republic Jedi team and you go up against droids because he does bonus damage against droids and you mod him for max health, he can do, like, against droids, like, 300k.
No, even better. Okay, scratch that. I'm a Gundai. Scratch that.
Okay.
We're fighting against droids, right? Separatists, right?
Yeah.
Eth Koth.
Yeah, baby, bring on Eth Koth.
My man has never been useful against droids, and that's his whole kit, is to be useful against droids.
Supposedly, yeah. Supposedly.
He wasn't
But who knows?
anti-meta when droids were the meta back in like 2015.
I know. Poor Heathcliff, man. Poor Heathcliff. I think you're absolutely right, though. I think it's going to be those trash Jedi Council Jedi that just don't have any real use.
Yeah.
You know, your Heathcliffs, your Amagundais, your Kit Fistos, all this sort of business. Jedi Knight Guardian and Consular, maybe even Clone Wars Chewie, because he's like a Galactic Republic that's not a Jedi. I know it's Clone Wars Chewie, but they might stretch the truth. I'm a little concerned for the newer players that CG might throw a bit of a curveball and do stuff like, oh, you got to have Trench, you got to have Chiari Mundi, and stuff like that. You know, things that are a little bit more awkward to get.
Yeah.
And I bet, you know, these ones that are awkward to get or people don't want to gear are going to be the ones that perform the best in the raid, coincidentally.
Yeah.
Just like how frickin' Ewok Elder is really good in speeder bike raid, but I'm not taking him to relegate. It's not happening, CG. You can't make me. Yeah. So yeah, that's new raid. Please give us some more information soon. Meathead, pretty please, with the cherry on top. I'll buy you a Christmas present. Actually, wait a minute. There's no Christmas in Star Wars. Sorry, Meathead. No Christmas present for you. We don't celebrate.
It's Life Day.
It's yes.
Yeah.
Happy
give
Life Day.
him a Life Day present.
I'll give him a I don't know, a fluffy Wookiee costume or something. Who knows?
No. Just send him
pull it
3
off.
Clone Wars Chewie shards.
Oh,
He'd like that.
nice. Yeah, he would. I'll have to figure out how I can actually do that. All right. Yeah. So, Raid, we need some information. Speaking of which, we have had Master Qui-Gon Jinn recently come to the game. He was the most recent marquee. We're hitting the tail end, of his marquee event now. I think he's got like 4 days left, something like that. His kit's awesome. His kit's really freaking cool.
Yep.
I actually love it. Like, genuine. I think the artwork on it is really cool. It makes me a little bit sad when I compare Master Qui-Gon Jinn to OG Qui-Gon Jinn. I'm like, where'd all the polygons go, Qui-Gon? But yeah, the new one is looking absolutely sick. I love his combat stance. You know, just his straight up combat stance. He's like sat there with his arms down, not even got his lightsaber out. He only brings it out for one move. And I think he might be the only Jedi that actually ignites his lightsaber as he does an attack. Is that right?
I
think he might be, you know.
The only Jedi that...
Like, no, you're totally wrong. Because he starts off with no lightsaber in hand.
Yeah.
And he like does a little well, technically he has got it in his hand, but it's not lit, right? He does a little pirouette and he ignites it as he does the pirouette and hits them. It's really cool. I think he's really sick.
He might be the only one because I think Fifth Brother, obviously he's not a Jedi, but Fifth Brother I think is the other one that you know stands there with no lightsaber ignited and then he actually attacks with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I'd like to see that in the comments because I can't think off the top of my head. I think all the Jedi really start out with their lightsabers ignited, with the exception of obviously JML. But I mean JML, once you go old, he ignites it.
Yeah, and JML is actually probably the most humorous one because he has a lit lightsaber and he never attacks with it.
No.
He just holds it. He's like, yep, this is a prop. To be fair, thematically speaking, technically, he's not really even in the battle because he's a projection, right? So I guess it makes sense that he doesn't try and hit them all with a lightsaber. But,
Sure. Whatever. Right? Do we really need to bring up The Last Jedi right now? We're talking prequels.
I thought we were talking about the amazing sequels and how good they are. And The Last Jedi, isn't that supposed to be like the best of all of them?
All right. So this video was brought to you by...
by Opposite World, Bizarro... I'm definitely going to get some hate comments for that. The other thing about the Qui-Gon Jinn kit that surprised me, his second special uses the chance dice that Watto's got. You know, like where he uses his force influence to roll the dice over to land on blue. So his move in that is to like re-roll the dice so that it always lands on blue, never lands on red. And there are genuinely people asking questions of, can it ever land on red though? No, guys, just read the description. It says it can never land on red. Like it can't. It's always blue, just like in the film. There is nothing for red. Okay, the red does not exist. Good. I'm glad we can agree on that. There is one thing that irritates me about this, and we did check it when the kit came live. When he does the I'll take that bet, the animation for it, the dice rolls, and Qui-Gon Jinn waves his hand, and it rolls back the other way onto blue. And I was like, in the Phantom Menace, it doesn't roll the other way. It keeps rolling forward. It's wrong. It's not continuity error right there, CG. You guys, you messed up. You messed up, guys. And I can never look at that ability in the same light ever again.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just had it roll one more time or something. Yeah, but it's whatever.
It could have stopped on red and then goes whoop onto blue. They could have done that, but no, they make it roll the wrong way, which is clearly rigged. Clearly rigged. So I watched some of Arnold's testing on it because Arnold always wails all the way to Relic 5 minimum on every marquee.
Yeah.
And the funny outcomes of that was that Master Qui-Gon Jinn is doing more damage than Padawan Obi-Wan, significantly more, which is surprising because Padawan Obi-Wan is the attacker and Qui-Gon Jinn is the support.
Right.
It's all right. Now I'm putting that down to that Padawan Obi-Wan currently can't get his unique buff Disciplined, which lets him attack under protection and a whole other bunch of other stuff, which gives him additional heal over times and protection over times, which translates to more crit damage. So I'm hoping that when we see Queen Amidala, he's going to be, really popping off and doing a lot more damage. But it's just kind of weird right now. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the team, though. Did you wail on it at all, Ram, or you just you sitting back waiting for the long haul on this one?
No, I did not wail. In fact, I don't even have Qui-Gon unlocked on either of my accounts because I just haven't done the event yet. So that's where I'm at.
Before it leaves.
I'll get it. I'm gonna hop off here after we're done recording and I'll do the event. But I mean, I like Qui-Gon. Obviously, we talked about this before, or and I know me and Shaka talked about this before on Rogue Action as well. I struggled to kind of see what they were going to do with Qui-Gon because he only, unless you're talking about Force Ghost, he only appears, or Tales of the Jedi, which neither of these versions are. He only appears in Phantom Menace, and there's only a limited amount of screen time that you can use to justify his abilities and whatnot. So, I thought they may put on a robe on him. I'm glad they went for the poncho effect. That's cool. But
it's officially doubled the number of poncho characters in the game.
Yes, more ponchos. Cameron Monaghan is pleased.
I think we should petition CG to introduce the poncho tag. So I think it should have unique benefits. Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, looking at what Qui-Gon does, I like a lot of it. The whole legendary battle meditation, I think that's great. I wanted something kind of like that, whether it was Master's Training or battle meditation or whatever. I wanted something like that because Qui-Gon is super, super powerful in the Force. Never really been more the duelist. He's more of the Force guy. So, being able to buff his entire team with a whole bunch of bonker stats is just awesome. The cube is cool. I was not expecting the cube at all, but that makes total sense. That makes total sense. And I love the whole, he influences to go blue. Yeah. Why do you want it to go red? Literally, if the result is red, this ability has no effect. Right. This ability has no effect. Okay, so you want to just use an ability and not have it do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Let's. I like this one. Yeah. Overall, I really like Qui-Gon. I think he's good.
Yeah. He's a very good kit. He's a very good kit, and I think they pulled off well. It's going to be cool to figure out who's going to be the fourth and the fifth in that Queen Amidala team when we eventually get her unlocked and start testing her next week. Mm-hmm. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for good things from this team. Should be a fun time coming up soon.
I'm hopeful that it's not 3PO and R2.
I don't think so.
Right, no, because R2's already with Leia, and I like that whole thing. And 3PO taken away from CLS changes the complete dynamic of that. So,
Yeah, I can see Barriss Offee going in that team.
Yeah.
Extra bulk, extra survivability is going to be good there, and I think you can throw in any of the the Galactic Republic Jedi. Realistically speaking, you could throw in even Ayla Secura. She's going to call assists when she does her basic. Yeah, and the stuns, but that assist will trigger off Obi-Wan, I think. I'm pretty certain Padawan Obi-Wan has got additional synergy with assists as well. So I think there's a lot of options that can go down there. And I'm looking forward to experimenting, because I bet there's going to be some wacky stuff that's like, oh my god, I didn't realize that would happen. It also opens up the space for CG to come back and visit this team later on and be like, oh, let's release Captain Panaka or something like that, and he's going to be like almost like a lifter unit for the Queen Amidala team. So yeah, should be sick. Yeah, I think we should roll on to the most important segment of the show, though, Ram.
Yes. So
this segment we like to call Just the Tip, and it's where Ram and I can give you just that. We enjoy giving you just the tip. Sometimes one person's tip is better than the other person's tip, but it's not a competition. It's not the quality of the tip. It's the enthusiasm with which we deliver said tip. So Ram, for our wonderful viewers and listeners at home, how much of a tip do you want to give them?
So last week we gave a sizable tip, me and you. So, we have to kind of up the ante, and we can't just leave them hanging. They expect a certain size, so we got to give them a size more. We got to upgrade it just a little bit, right? So
definitely.
I rolled my chance cube, and I upgraded the size of the tip. So this week's tip that I want to give this time is, I don't know about you, Scribe, but I've had this problem where my opponent goes super, super heavy on defense. And when he does that, I can't full clear. And it annoys me because I like getting those 100K credits that you get when you full clear, or when you beat a team. I like getting those credits. So I want to full clear every time. Well, the easy way to do that, guys.
Good, right?
Right. Yeah. We've been looking at this all wrong. We think that we have to set a defense, but no. If you want to ensure you're full clear every single time, don't set a defense. That way you have your full roster at your disposal. You can go in and you can clear your opponent with ease. Your opponent's going to look at you and be like, how did he full clear? I don't understand. I placed 6 GLs on defense. He shouldn't have full cleared. But lo and behold, you full cleared with ease. It's crazy. And then for added bonus, just make sure you have the GP advantage, because then when you get the same amount of banners as your opponent, because you solo everything, because you've got your full roster, you solo everything with perfect banners, you're going to be tied, but then you're going to have the GP advantage. So you're still going to win. And your opponent's going to be like, this guy's hacking.
It's flawless logic.
Flawless.
And you know what, Ram? You know what actually occurs to me now? Not only do you full clear them, technically speaking, you full clear yourself as well.
Ooh.
So you take care of every single team and every single zone solo. That's how you assert dominance.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. That's breaking the game right there. That's full clearing.
That's meta.
The game's not meant for you to full clear yourself, but you full clear yourself. That's, man.
It's next level strats.
I love that. I love that.
Tactics. Yeah. I can't
that's
knock
a great
the logic.
tip.
I think we should all try it.
Yes.
I think we should all try it.
I'll volunteer as tribute.
Okay. Could you imagine if 2 people actually didn't set a defense? Like, well, that was the quickest and easiest GAC of my life.
Can we just do that for every single 3v3? Just neither of us sets a defense. Okay, cool.
No defense. Yeah.
It goes based off of pure GP. All right, cool.
Yeah. Hey, for me, if I was to do that now, I'm actually facing someone with less GP than me, so I would definitely win. That hasn't happened in so long. Oh man, I can't. That is a brilliant tip, Ram. That is a next level tip, and I don't think my tip can even come close to your tip. So I was thinking.
Well, there's only one way to compare that. Is you just got to put them next to each other and match them up.
We got to size them up side by side.
Yeah, size them up.
Down in the comments, let us know whose tip do you prefer. So I was thinking about this earlier, and do you know how we were talking about Bo-Katan coming back monthly? Maybe Jar Jar's going to be coming back monthly. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis disappeared for half a year, basically. He disappeared completely, and he's still not permanently in the journey guide.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, like he came back, I think, the start of this month, like the 9th, something like that. So a lot of people who are ready were like jumping on him, but there's still loads of people in the game that don't have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and I have come up with a solution. My tip today is if you really want to get and play as Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, you can just get this game called Jedi Knight Survivor, and he's available immediately. Just immediately. No need to gear up Seer or anything. You can just go in straight away, booyah. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis made available immediately, no wailing outside of buying a game. But it's a worthwhile game, so you should probably all do it.
Well, I mean, and that makes sense. Like, I mean, you know, your whole thing is to save money, right? That should be our whole goal, right? So, how many characters are required for Cal Kestis? It's like, what, 4, 5? 5, and you got to all take them up to gear 12 and 7 stars, and you're looking at like $200-300 a pop or something like that. So that's a lot of money versus $60 to just play as Jedi Knight Cal Kestis in an amazing game called Jedi Survivor.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong, and there's no RNG involved either. It's just you just do it.
No.
Just
and then if you really want tips on how to play that game, just watch Heinze.
I'm sure Heinze is phenomenal at that game. He's top tier pro gamer, right? He never makes any mistakes, right?
As long as you don't ask him to wall run.
Well, I feel like there's a story there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, guys. I think that's going to about do it. Once again, if you haven't already, make sure you go over to part 1 on Ram's channel. Link for that is in the description down below. Mr. Rambam, sir, it's been a pleasure, an honor once again to join you on Rogue Actions. I guess we'll see you all in a week's time, right?
In a week.
Peace out, y'all.
Subscribe.